I am Ambud Chandana. I am the Senior Executive Vice President of Kotak Mahindra Bank. And we are here today in Chandigarh to talk about our savings interest rates and in context to the downward trajectory of interest rates in the economy and how interest rates have been going down and how as a bank we've taken a decision, a firm decision to hold our interest rates at 6% levels, which is where we have been since October 2011 after the deregulation of the economy. And we'd like to stick to those rates for our consumers and for the benefits of all our customers in the markets of Punjab and Tri-City Chandigarh.
So, Mr. Chanda, how other banks are continuing? As you've said that you're sticking to 6%. So, what other banks are offering?
Well, if you see historically, the savings rate before 2011 was regulated in India at 4%, and effective October 2011, RBI opened up this thing and allowed banks to decide their interest rates, and that was a point of test for I think banking industry in general. We were the first bank at that point in time to say 4% is not the fair price, not the right interest rate for customers, and savings customers in our country deserve more than 4%. That's we need to get to the right price, and we took our interest rate up to 6%, and we have held on to that for the last 5 years. In recent times, all of you have seen the news of the rates on savings, the various savings schemes run by the government going down, the repo rate going down by 25 basis points. But we like to reiterate to customers that despite the downward trajectory, despite what other banks and our peers do, and we do see some of our peers falling under pressure these times and dropping their rates of interest, we see bulk of the industry sticking to 4%, not having deregulated it all these years. But we are clear, we want to offer the fair interest rates and the right interest rates to our customers, and we'll stay at 6%.
So what's the reason actually why this trajectory has happened actually? Why there's a downfall in the interest rates actually? Why this fiscal years has seen this?
Well, I think it's linked to the way the larger economy is behaving. Clearly, the government on one hand wants the interest rates to go down so that the cost of doing business comes down and effectively the economy tends to grow. We've seen positive trends on sides of inflation coming down gradually, and that's enabled the policy rates to come down. And while policy rates come down and they become more attractive for the borrowers in our country, I think it's equally important that we respect the savers in our country who really contribute, almost 28%, 9.8% of our whole GDP is contributed by the savers, and we take care of them, and which is where we talk about our 6% rate and our decision to hold those rates.
We should not talk about but this is the major concern actually. The share rates have all equally gone down, or is it it depends because of course, it varies from company to company and policy to policy. But still, have share market also dripped down?
No, no, it's not necessarily. It depends on what period of time you look at from what point in time. But off late, the stock market has been range bound in that, and we haven't seen a significant impact on the stock market in general.
So still, there's a downfall in the interest rates, but you're sticking to the positively, offering your customers 6%. Is there any other bank equally, concerned about their customers and they're offering the 6% or higher than that?
Well, if you see the bulk of the sector, the large private sector bank, the public sector banks are all at 4%, and they pretty much contribute larger sector. There are a couple of banks along with us, just one or two of them, which offer higher interest rates to our customers. Within that, at I think 6% above 1 lakhs, which has been our tagline for the last 5 years. I think we are the only ones who haven't changed it for the last 5 years.
So more the number of lesser than 1 lakh savings. There are more number of this actually. It's kind of my level or middle class people who have 1 lakh or lesser than that in the banks. So
even there, other banks are at 4%. We are at 5%.
You are at 5%.
So it is a higher savings rate for everybody. And for sure, above 1 lakh 6%, below 1 lakh 5%, but definitely more than 4%. And there's no need to get stuck at 4% for customers today. They have better savings options, better returns on their products.
I've spoken to hundreds of customers before coming in here, and they all were satisfied Kotak customers, and they were feeling more warmth as per the hospitality is concerned, because they are using other bank services also. So what's special about Kotak? Do you have some quality checks on the hospitality? Is it?
Well, I think let's put it this way: banking is a very relationship-oriented business. When customers come to banks, they are trusting their money, and trust is a very important thing. And it's a very transactional business. You have to frequently, walk into your branch, do various kinds of transactions, and fair amount of things. Unless a banking institution understands that it's in a services business and builds strong metrics around that aspect, I don't think you have a reason to be in this business at all. And I think we've had that focus all along for the last 13 years of our existence. And we've said quality of service should be benchmarked to the best in the world, and we'll work for it. For sure, we have very strong metrics. We invest a lot in training our staff on that front. And I'm glad you got that feedback. I'm quite happy. It reinforces our belief that we are doing a good job. And if you got that feedback, nothing better than that for us. No, we are absolutely clear that we will always invest into technology, training, and all kinds of resources. We always believe that it's difficult to get a customer, but and obviously there's a lot of focus on acquisition, but it's equally important to hold and retain our customer. It's equally important to invest into various areas where we can make banking a pleasure for our customers, and we'll keep on investing.
Are you making some calls to the people to let them aware of the interest rates? Is it like, or how are you, making awareness in the people like, yes, you can get better interest rates in us?
We do everything. Obviously, our branches do a lot of work, but we also, time to time, do advertising campaigns around it. We had one campaign in April, and so we do invest in spreading our message around.
And one thing you'd like to improve in Kotak Bank, coming from you actually.
Coming from me, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I think I won't use the word improve, but I like to take on what you said. It's important to be consistent. I think we've been consistent on our service quality for the last 13 years, in our fair pricing to consumers in the last 13 years. And I think one thing, my endeavor would be to continue to be consistent over the next few years.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you.
Thank you.